Hello friends, welcome back to Sack's Garage. I am Sack and this is my garage. Back here on the 6R80, on the left is our new ring, on the right is our old one. So, come on, focus. I don't know if you can tell on the video here, but the left ring is a lot cleaner and not quite as gouged as that right ring. There's still some small, minute manufacturing defects. This is made in America, but it looks like it's just punched out of... no, it's probably cast. My guess is it's cast, and then the surfaces are actually super smooth. You can actually see machining marks on it. Obviously, it's rusted a little bit, so we'll clean that before we put it in. But I think this is just defects from the casting process. But obviously, the old one has these chips in every single tooth, which don't matter at the end of the day because down here in the case, you can see right here, it just slides into these grooves in the case right here to hold that plate in position. So we're gonna clean this up. Before we do that though, we need to open up our new clutch packs and lay them out to ensure that we get the right number in each spot. There's instructions for that on the internet. So we're gonna go ahead and get that started, get them all lined up with their appropriate drums, and get started. First planetary and clutch pack is in. I forget that's the like anti-reverse clutch. Anyway, there's a spring that installs down here. You see where my finger's tapping there. It comes from the outside of the case and keeps that bronze part from rotating back and forth in the case to prevent wear. Anyway, the Exedy video does not explain how to line up this part. Easy way is that barcode or the QR code needs to go on the bottom towards this hole, but if you look on the right side tooth over there, it's notched in, whereas the rest of the teeth have no notches, okay? That's so that this spring can actually latch into the tooth there and hang on. That's something the Exedy video does not explain. Wish I would have known. It would have saved me a couple minutes of just dealing with it. We press onward. All right, C clutches on the intermediate drum. Exedy video does a good job talking about these two notches on the side. However, they're 180 out, but you can only go in one way. Right here are your ports that feed all the pressure lines right here on the bottom. Okay, if you rotate this over, there's only two holes up there. That's the top. This right here is the bottom. So it can only go in one way, even though it fits two ways. It actually doesn't fit in two ways. You'll actually get stuck about 1/4 inch high because these fins on the bottom don't line up with that one-way clutch down there. All right, it's actually the next day now. We had quite the time trying to get this intermediate drum in. This is the one that has the big snap ring here in the case to hold this drum in. What ended up happening was last night I could not get that snap ring in because the drum was sitting too high up in the case. I racked my brain and I spent about 3 hours pulling it apart, verifying that everything was in the correct order. I looked up parts diagrams, I watched videos, I asked around the internet, and I could not figure it out. Everybody's like, just go back and double check, double check, double check. Turns out, the very last bearing, way down in there, I thought was in the case the whole time. It turns out that it probably stuck to that rear planetary gear, and I reinstalled it backwards. That's what happens when you wait a week. So if we look here on the parts diagram, let's see if it'll focus here. Nope, not focusing. That's the rear planetary, and that's the output shaft there. That last bearing right there, 217 and 218, was installed upside down, which made it sit about 1/10 of an inch too high, which means I couldn't get this snap ring in. So I went to bed last night thinking, man, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to have to take this to a professional. Woke up this morning before work, came out here, was like, I haven't tried this bearing yet. and it all slid together perfectly. So we're going to continue on with this. One quick note, the Exedy install video, I don't remember seeing that it mentions you want to put this snap ring so that the opening is at either the 3 or 9 o'clock in line with the channels going in. Just a pro tip that I found from some other videos. I'm going to link all the videos that I used down in the description below, so if you're trying to do the same thing, I highly recommend referencing these videos to help install these parts. All right, next pro tip. This is the whole front drum assembly. I forget what it's called, but basically the big clutches that go in here that are held in with a snap ring, don't put those in early. You may fall trap to that like I did, and it's really hard to spin this whole drum around to get them lined up. But it's super easy to install said clutches and steels once it's all installed because you just follow the grooves. Right here, the snap ring to hold this whole Ford assembly together has little indents in it. You can see, let me get a screwdriver here, that this one holds this part in. This is a backstop for this side of the ring. This one right here keeps this ring in, and then this right here, there's a notch in the snap ring that has to go around that. If you don't have that notch lined up, that little dimple in there keeps the snap ring from fully seating. Lots of little tips and tricks. Let's get this in. Got it all back together. Oil pump is on. Don't have the valve train on yet because what we need to do next is air check it. All right, sorry it's dark in here, but right here, checking the E clutch. Here, I'll do this one first. You can hear the air in a clunk. That's the clutch back engaging, but on this one, no clunk. It's just bypassing. So we're going to end off the video there. We need to troubleshoot why that one is not working. Thanks for tuning into this episode of Zach's Garage. We'll see you next time.